Chapter 2 Bones. Jack and Annie Peanut looked outside. Snow was falling from a gray sky. The treehouse was in the tallest tree in a grove of tall, bare trees. The grove was on a wide, white plain. Beyond the plain were high, loggy cliffs. "I'm cold," said Annie. Her teeth chattered. She wrapped her towel tightly around her. Squeak! Peanut sounded cold too. "Poor mouse," said Annie. "I'll put you into Jack's pack. You'll be warmer there," said Annie. Slipped Peanut into the pocket of the backpack. "We have to go home," said Jack. "We need warmer clothes." "We can go home," said Annie. "We can find the Pennsylvania book, not until our mission is complete. Remember? That's the way the magic works." "Oh, right," said Jack. He looked around. There was no sign of the Pennsylvania book that always took them home. Annie peered out the window again. "Where are we, anyway?" she asked. "I find out," said Jack. He picked up the open book and read the title over on the cover. "Life is in the Ice Age." "Ice Age?" said Annie. "No wonder we're cold. We better find the third thing soon," said Jack, "before we freeze to death." "Look," whispered Annie. "People." She pointed out the window. Jack saw them, 2 forefingers on a cliff, 2 big figures and 2 little ones, and all holding long spears. "Who are they?" said Annie. "I took in the book," said Jack. He found a picture of some people. He read a caption to Annie. Early modern humans were called Cro-Magnons. During the Great Ice Age in Europe, they sometimes lived in a caves beneath cliff. "Why are they carrying spears?" said Annie. Jack turned the page. He found another picture of the Cro-Magnons. He read aloud. The Cro-Magnon family often hunted together. They covered deep pits with branches. Then they drove reindeer and mammoth with the trap. "Oh, trapping an animal. That's sad," said Annie. "No, it's not," said Jack. "They couldn't live without hunting. They didn't have a supermarket. No, you know." They watched the family disappear over the other side of the cliff. "Come on, I'm freezing," said Jack. "Let's hurry to find the thing while the Cro-Magnons are hunting." "But I want to meet them," said Annie. "Forget it," said Jack. "They don't have books that tell them about us. They'll think we're some enemy and hurt their spears." "Ickies," said Annie. Jack put his book away. Squeak! Peanut peeked out of the backpack. "Stay in there," said Annie. Jack pulled on his pack and started down the rope ladder. Annie followed. On the icy ground, they huddled together. The wind was beating. Jack put his towel over his head. Snow blew against their glasses. "Hey, Jack," said Annie. "Look at me," said Annie. Had put on their swimming goggles. "Now I can see," she said. "Good thinking," said Jack. "Now cover your head with your towel. Most of your body hit the rust through your head." Annie wrapped her towel around her head. "We should find a cave or some place warmer," said Jack. "I bet there was caves in those cliffs, said Annie. She and Jack started across the white plain. The snow wasn't deep yet, but the wind was blowing hard. I told you, Annie pointed to an opening in the rocks. A cave. They went to it. Careful, said Jack. They stepped carefully into the shadow cave. It was only silently warmer inside. But at least the wind was blowing. In the gray light, they stamped the snow off their sneakers. Annie took off her goggles. It smelled in here, said Jack. Yeah, like a wet dog, said Annie. Let me see what I can find out, said Jack. He pulled out the icy age book. I look around, said Annie. Maybe the M thing is here. Then we can go home and get warm. Jack stood by the entrance so he could read the book. This cave is filled with sticks. Annie said, What? Said Jack. He didn't look up from the book. No, wait, I think they're bones, said Annie. Bones? Echoed Jack. Yeah, lots of them back here, all over the floor. Jack turned the page of his book. He found a picture of a cave filled with bones. I hear something, said Annie. Jack read the writing below the picture of the cave. It said, The great cave bears of the Ice Age were over 8 feet tall. These bears were larger and fierce than today's grizzly. Their caves were filled with the bones of their ancestors. Annie, whispered Jack, get back here now. They were in the cave of the great cave bear.